So I'm Steve.
I'm Riley.
Tax Force is our company. What's the segment called? The segment's called Teaching Riley.
Okay, Steve, do you have any advice for people on how they can be tracking their business expenses to make things easier for them?
Easier. Tracking your business expenses.
Simpler.
Definitely simpler. That's a better word. When you're a small business, you're trying to wear all the hats often. So at the end of the day, you're like, most people are like, put the paperwork away, I'll deal with it later. The problem with that is we never have more time later. And so you get the mail from the mailbox and you open it up and you set it down. That's the first thing that happens. And you're like, I'll get to that later. Then later you come back and you open up the mail and you're like, whoa, they want how much? Oh, you can deal with that later. And then you come back to that pile and you're like, okay, well, I guess I better pay that bill. So you go online and you pay it, or you write a check or whatever have you, and you put it down again. Then you come back later and you're like, I better get this into my bookkeeping system. And so you pick it up and you enter it into the whatever bookkeeping system you have, and then you put it down again. Somebody in the office goes, there's too much paper everywhere, this needs to be filed. And so you pick it up again and you file.
So that can be condensed.
That should be condensed. Anything from a manual paper-based system to a full-on accounting system can be an appropriate way to keep track of information. It depends on the size of business that you have.
Okay.
Tax Force, we're accredited QuickBooks professionals, so that is the program that we like to use, but there's lots of good programs out there, including Xero, Sage 50, FreshBooks. We have a lot of clients as well that still do use paper ledgers. We have Amish clients that don't use computers.
Okay.
So, right? So we have to teach them how to use paper ledgers. If you have a small business that doesn't have a lot of transactions and you feel that sitting down at the computer is something that's going to be a limiting factor to getting the work done, then maybe a paper ledger is the right thing for you. If you feel that a spreadsheet is going to be, I don't want to get into the nuances of a full-on accounting program, but I can enter stuff into a spreadsheet, that's a lot better than paper because the spreadsheet does all the math for you. A full-on accounting program like QuickBooks has so many benefits. You're able to compare year over year, month over month, quarter over quarter. You can now download your bank statement.
Oh, wow.
And really what you're doing is now confirming, yes, this entry that went into my bank was income. This number that came out of my bank is this kind of expense. Bookkeeping is moving from more data entry into information confirmation. One of the reasons that you would want to start out with a full-on accounting program right from the beginning of your business is a vision that I understand that this is, we've got a trajectory, we're going to keep growing here, and I want to be able to take information that I'm generating in the first year and be able to compare it in years 2 and 3.
Yeah.
If you choose a less expensive system at the beginning, you don't have the ability to compare that information easily in a couple of years from now. And the expense really isn't that great. It does depend on exactly the platform that you need, but we're talking somewhere starting at a couple $100 a year up to around $1,000 a year, and growing because programs, if you've got a company with 50 people, it's going to be very different from a company with 5.
Yeah.
Investing in a good, solid accounting program really is an investment in your business and your overall operation because the value that you get out of that, the time that you save, is worth so much. It's a different way of looking at your money when you start thinking in terms of this is a cost to this is an investment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When you look at this, if you're saying, what's it going to cost me to have this computer program? The mindset isn't right because you think it's a cost, the money's leaving.
Yeah.
If you switch to what is my investment in this and what is my return on investment? If you don't invest in your accounting program early, the cost later is definitely going to be time. Time and lost opportunity.